YouTube channel. Sadly, this is the last video of the series, but after this, I'll be teaching topics such as anatomy for artists, how to draw facial features, and so on. This is the 6th and last video in my art supply series. In this video, we'll be talking about gouache paint, which I mentioned in my acrylic video. All painting mediums require the same supplies but with different qualities. You may have noticed this if you've watched my other painting medium videos. So today, there will be 3 main supplies for gouache painting. Gouache paint, paintbrushes, and quality painting surfaces. First up on our list today, gouache paint. Gouache paint is an opaque watercolor. This basically means that it uses the same pigments and binder as watercolor, but it has white added to it so it loses the translucency of watercolors. White gouache is often used to add intense highlights to watercolor paintings. A primary difference between watercolor and gouache paint is that gouache is more opaque. Due to the transparency of watercolors, the light is able to travel through the pigment and reflect off of the white paper. Gouache paint can be applied to a canvas, but it's best to apply a fairly thick layer with minimal water added. Next up on our list, paintbrushes. When starting out with gouache, you only need 3 brushes: a small round brush, a larger round brush, and a broad brush for painting larger areas. You're free to experiment with any other brush type, but synthetic watercolor brushes are great for painting with gouache. The softer texture allows fluidity with the paint and allows them to create delicate details. Synthetic brushes tend to work better for gouache painting compared to natural brushes. The water-holding capacity of a synthetic brush is less than that of a natural brush. Pro tip: always carefully wash your brushes after painting with gouache paint. The ingredients used to make it opaque can damage brushes if it dries and sets. How's the video so far? Are you enjoying it? If you are, that's great because we have one more topic to talk about before I end the series. But before that, how about subscribing to this channel so you won't miss any of my future videos? And you can like this video to show your support. And lastly, quality painting surfaces. Gouache is very adaptable. It can be used on a wide variety of painting surfaces such as watercolor paper, an illustration board, thick drawing paper, or a Bristol board. But it doesn't work as well as acrylics when being applied to a canvas. The effects of gouache paint on a canvas can be best described similarly to watercolors, but heavier and more opaque, but at the same time, not as opaque as acrylics. You can use gouache paint for canvas paintings, but it will be impractical because you'll be needing thick layers of paint. Gouache paint works well on watercolor paper, similar to, well, watercolor paints. You could also use some thick drawing paper or canvas paper. Well, that's that everyone. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the 6th and final part of this series. What should I start teaching next week? I'd be glad to hear your thoughts. Also, subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications so you will never miss any of my future videos. See you all next week. Bye!